Hello everyone, I'm just documenting the project that I'm working on. This is pretty much a port of WSJT-X to the Teensy 4.1. It's not a direct port, it's completely scratch built from the ground up. I am just trying to simulate the functionality that is inside of WSJT-X. Just to go over what I've got here, I have a Teensy 4.1 with a Teensy 4 audio shield attached to it. Also, I have the USB host header hooked up here. That's going into my Steno keyboard. The firmware will support Steno as well as a regular keyboard. One of them sends translated as well as raw characters. There's no enter key, for instance. Hitting the two R's here is equal to hitting the enter key on a keyboard, but it won't actually show up as a key scan. So there was a little bit of fun there. But anyways, just going back to the project here, I have the line in, line out header hooked up to my TX500, which is currently tuned to FT8. And the waterfall graph here is at the top. The UI is broken into 5 regions here. At the very top is the visualizer where you see the last 30 seconds worth of waterfall data. Just beneath that is an indicator region that has a frequency scale. I don't yet have the markers here for indicating the received message audio frequency offsets, nor do I have one to indicate the transmit frequency audio offset. I literally just started this project a day and a half ago. Beneath that is the status section where it has my call sign, date, and time. This will also be the region where the status indicator will reside for, let's see if I can get my thing, transmit, receive, as well as mode-specific items such as JS8. You can tell if the heartbeats are enabled, if auto respond is enabled. Also, if there's a pending message in your inbox, things like that, that'll be in the status region, as well as, of course, the frequency of your radio, the band, as well as the mode. Since this is multi-mode, it'll also indicate whether you're JS8, FT8, CW, Whisper, whatever mode you've currently got it set to. The next section down below that is the input buffer that does allow for editing before you hit send. When you hit the enter key, it will clear the buffer and queue it for transmit. Depending on the mode you're doing, it might delay that by 15 seconds or whatever to go into the necessary messaging window. If you're doing CW, it sends right away. And beneath that is the demodulation output. That would be where your received messages are. For FT8, this bottom section will show the current active conversations, but I will have it set up so I can toggle between a list of heard stations and other various contexts that I might want. So the keyboard input works. I can't very easily do this with one hand, but if I use set my phone down, hopefully without breaking anything. If I use the cursor keys, for instance, I can move the cursor over in the input field. You can see that it's no longer at the end. And I can also hit escape or hit backspace to delete characters. On a Steno keyboard, it's just the star key usually, is with Plover. And then I can just hit enter to submit it, and it goes. So yeah, the project currently has input buffering capability from the keyboard. I can edit, I can send, do whatever, use the cursor keys. I don't have demodulation working yet. That is the next thing on my agenda. I will start with JS8. Since it's the primary focus of this project, and then adding FT8 and everything else is trivial. I'm not really a fan of FT8. It's only useful in the sense that everyone and their mother is on it right now, so it's a good source of signals. But I see the mode overall as being generally useless. It's just for making contacts and not actually sending meaningful data. So I'm pretty much, in my eyes, that's basically broadcasting, but that's a political discussion for another time. So anyways, I hope to have an update towards the end of the week with some demodulation. The goal is to ultimately pack all of this into a backpack that fits on the back of the TX500 and makes use of these pogo pens for receiving power. The backpack will also store some 18650 LiPo cells for providing power to the radio. I haven't quite figured out how to use the serial port that's on the pogo pens in the back, so I don't think I can do communication between my module and the radio through the serial, but I will very definitely be able to use it through the CAT interface here. So I will have a GX12 4-pin on this side of my backpack and a GX12 7-pin on this side for the remote data. So yeah, that's the status of the project in its infancy. I am strictly using nothing but Grok 3.0 to do my coding. It's not that I don't know how to code, it's just a matter of learning AI and seeing what I can actually get away with. And there are certainly limitations with a 128K token context window, and it takes a little bit of creativity to structure your project in such a way that you can have multiple conversations doing your work and not run into problems with that. So this project is going to be completely open source, and I'm going to put the entirety of my conversations with Grok online as well, so people could see how it was created, how I went about doing it, in case they want to follow suit and do something similar. This sort of a project would be great, I think. Getting this message mode, especially JS8, working on low power hardware like this has a lot of potential. One thing that I think would be awesome is if somebody took the initiative to put one of these on a CubeSat and toss it into orbit, because then with JS8 you could park messages on there for another station on the other side of the planet, and when the bird goes overhead, they can pull down their message. That store and forward functionality that JS8 has is pretty powerful. If somebody doesn't do it, I might do it. I already have a CubeSat. I've got the hardware. I just got to get around to actually designing my hardware, coding it, and then finding a ride share for it. But the way the costs are coming down, it's probably going to be significantly cheaper in a couple years. So anyways, that's the current status of this project. I will post the GitHub repository in response to this video at some point once I get the code to a little bit more of a functional state. I might be able to take on some volunteer work if people want to fork the project and start doing some work in addition. But stay tuned. I will have an update in a few days. Thanks for watching.